Can we please rise and pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Post.
Here.
White.
Here.
Underhill.
Here.
Michaelak.
Here.
Zambito.
Here. At this time, I'd like to call a public hearing to order local law number 3 of 2020, the tax cap override. If there's anyone here that wishes to speak, if you please stand, state your name and address, and address the board.
Hezekiah Webster, Wilkinson Road. I assume this is to blow through the cap, is that the idea? Is that what the motion is?
It's the same resolution and local law that we passed for the last 8 or 9 years. It authorizes us to fund our operations to the degree that we need to fund them with local money when we don't get state money. At this time, I'll call the public hearing closed. Would someone move to accept the minutes of the August 19th, 2020 public hearing on local law number 2 of 2020, discrimination and harassment policy?
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Would someone move to accept the minutes of the September 16th, 2020 regular town board meeting? So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. And finally, would someone move to accept the minutes of the September 30th, 2020 special town board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Are there any speakers this evening that wish to address the board? If so, please rise and state your name and address, and we will be happy to address.
Hezekiah Webster. Time for input on the budget is, I assume, the public hearing next week?
Well, we meet
That's
every,
questions.
to respond to your question, we meet every week.
Right.
The town board meets as a whole every week, and any input on any of the business of the town is welcomed by the town board, and we embrace it. And you've been to some of those meetings.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, that's the public hearing will be in November.
Yeah, November 4th, right. Which is 2 weeks, 2 weeks, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Because I looked at the, I guess it was the tentative budget, now we have a preliminary budget, obviously different.
Yes. So, substantially.
Yeah, my questions I have, I go back and look at your numbers again, so.
Well, and please, we welcome public participation, and we We appreciate attendance and the opportunity to speak to the budget and the process of how we derive that. As you can imagine, it's challenging with no help, year after year after year.
Right.
But, yes, there will be an opportunity to speak to the town board at the public hearing. There are no other speakers. Sharon, could you present resolution number 147?
Resolution adopting local law number 3 of 2020. Whereas proposed local law number 3 of 2020 of the town of Batavia, entitled a local law to override the tax levy limit established in General Municipal Law 3-C for fiscal year 2021, which proposed local law in its final form was presented to the town board at the meeting held on September 16, 2020. And a copy thereof was kept with the town clerk, and copies both laid upon the desks of the members of said town board members and mailed to each member of the town board not in attendance at said meeting. And whereas a public hearing on the advisability of enacting said proposed local law was held on October 21st, 2020, before this town board pursuant to public notice duly published in the Daily News according to law, at which time all interested persons were heard. And whereas the town board of the town of Batavia, New York is of the opinion that adoption of said proposed local law number 3 of 2020 is in the best interest of the town of Batavia, New York. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Batavia, New York, that said proposed local law number 3 of 2020 be and the same hereby is adopted. And be it further resolved that a certified copy of said local law number 3 of 2020 be filed with the New York State Secretary of State in accordance with law. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Dan, resolution number 148.
Adoption of the 2021 preliminary town budget. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby adopts the preliminary town budget for 2021, and be it further resolved that the 2021 preliminary town budget hereby to be filed in the office of the Batavia Town Clerk. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 149, calling a public hearing for sewer rents for the period of time running from May of 2021 through February of 2022. Whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 452 as amended, impositions of sewer rents in sewer districts number 1 and 2 in the town of Batavia are subject to approval by the Batavia Town Board. And whereas these sewer rents are imposed to pay for the cost of wastewater treatment and operation and maintenance of the sewer lines. And whereas the proposed sewer rents for May 2021 to February 2022 are sewer district number 1, $7.09 per 1,000 gallons, sewer district number 2, $7.09 per 1,000 gallons, representing a zero increase from the current rates. And whereas a public hearing is required before the new sewer rents are imposed, now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes and orders that a public hearing on the proposed sewer rents May of 2021 to February of 2022 be conducted at the Batavia Town Hall, 3833 West Main Street Road, Batavia, New York, beginning at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, November 4th, 2020, at which time and place all interested persons will be heard, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to have published at least once in the Daily News at least 5 days before the date scheduled for the public hearing, the public hearing notice which is attached to here too. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Patty, resolution number 150, please.
Calling a public hearing, water rate, May 2021 to February 2022. Whereas pursuant to the Code of the Town, Section 229-15, the town board shall by resolution establish and from time to time modify the water rate for all water sold by the town of Batavia. And whereas in November 2015, the town established an agricultural rate and a base rate within the town's water service area. And whereas the definition of the two rates are, base rate applies to all meters that are not dedicated to use within farming operations as described in the agricultural rate. Agricultural rate applies to all meters serving parcels in a certified agricultural district and dedicated to use in farming operations, including providing drinking water for livestock, irrigation of crops, and operations related directly to agriculture. This rate does not apply to meters that also serve domestic, commercial, or industrial use. Whereas the formula for the base rate is 100% of the water purchase cost, 100% of Genesee County water surcharge cost, 100% of the town's debt reserve cost, 100% of the town's operation and maintenance cost. Whereas the formula for the ag rate is 100% of water purchase cost, 100% of the Genesee County water surcharge cost, 100% of the town's debt reserve, and 10% of the town's operation and maintenance cost. Whereas the proposed base water rate for May 2021 to February 2022 is $6.20 per 1,000 gallons, representing a 3.4 increase.
No.
3.4 decrease, from current rate. And whereas the proposed agricultural water rate for May 2021 to February 2022 is $5.02 per 1,000 gallons, representing a 1.6% decrease from current rate. And whereas as a courtesy to the consumers, the town board wishes to call a public hearing before imposing the new rates. Now therefore be it resolved, Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes and orders that a public hearing on the proposed water rates of May 2021 to February 2022 be conducted at the Batavia Town Hall, 3833 West Main Street Road, Batavia, beginning at 7:05 p.m. on Wednesday, November 4th, at which time and place all interested persons will be heard. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to have published at least once in the Batavia Daily News 5 days before the date scheduled for the public hearing, the public hearing notice which is attached here too. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Chad, Resolution 151.
Calling for public hearing on the 2021 town budget. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes and orders that a public hearing on the preliminary town budget for 2021 be conducted at the Batavia Town Hall, 3833 West Main Street Road, Batavia, New York, beginning at 7:10 p.m. Wednesday, November 4th, 2020, at which time and place all interested persons will be heard. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish such public notice of the subject public hearing as required by law. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. All right, Resolution 152.
Levying unpaid water and sewer charges against 2021 tax warrant. Whereas the water bill collector has prepared a list of all property owners who owe the town for water and/or sewer rents as of October 19th, 2020. And whereas Section 229-15C of town law stipulated that such amounts owing shall be levied against the property to which the service is rendered. Now therefore be it resolved that the attached list in the amount of $146,014.01, or as may be amended before final submission to the Genesee County Treasurer, be and is hereby approved for levying against the individual's 2021 tax warrant. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 153, Dan.
Training workshop. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the following personnel to attend training workshops as written. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 154, adoption of retention and disposition schedule for New York Local Government Records, LGS-1. Resolved by the Town Board of the Town of Batavia that retention and disposition schedule for New York Local Government Records, LGS-1, issued pursuant to Article 57-A of the Arts and Cultural Affairs Law, and containing legal minimum retention periods for local government records, is hereby adopted for use by all officers in legally disposing of valueless records listed therein. And be it further resolved that in accordance with Article 57-A, only those records will be disposed of that are described in retention and disposition schedule for the New York Local Government's Record, LGS-1, after they have met the minimum retention periods described therein. B, only those records will be disposed of that do not have sufficient administrative, fiscal, legal, or historical value to merit retention beyond established legal minimum periods. And be it further resolved, the LGS-1 supersedes and replaces the MU-1 retention and disposition schedule for the New York Local Government Records. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Resolution 155.
5230 Batavia Stafford Town Line Road, Solar Energy System Decommissioning Agreement, Borrego Solar Systems Incorporated Operator, Town Line Road Solar 1 LLC. Whereas Borrego Solar Systems Incorporated submitted the application to the town of Batavia for the site plan approval of certain solar farm installation to be erected or parcel located at 5230 Batavia Stafford Town Line Road, and whereas the town of Batavia Planning Board approved the application on August 20, 2019, subject to the developer obtaining a decommissioning bond for such improvements in form suitable to the attorney for the town. And whereas the attorney for the town, in consultation with the town engineer, has presented a solar energy system decommissioning agreement for solar installation to be located in the town on said parcel for signature by the town and the operator of such installation. And whereas the town desires to approve the decommissioning agreement as presented. Now therefore be resolved, Batavia Town Board hereby approves the authorization, or authorizes the supervisor to execute the solar energy system decommissioning agreement by and between the town of Batavia and Town Line Batavia Solar 1 LLC, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part of the town board minutes. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Then Vito, 156, please.
Lockbox agreement, tax collection payments, five-star bank. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes and approves of the lockbox agreement, five-star bank, tax collection payments at a cost of 30 cents per item, annual mail fee of $25, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part of the minutes. And be it further resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute such agreement. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 157.
AutoCAD subscription renewal. Whereas the 2020 renewal subscriptions for AutoCAD LT government single user and architecture, engineering, and construction collections single user expires in December 2020. And whereas the engineer requested a quote from DTL to renew the existing subscriptions at a cost of $4,419.91, quote attached. Now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the renewal of architecture, engineering, and construction collection single-user annual subscriptions with priority support for the engineering department at a cost of $4,419.91. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 158.
Purchase of scanner, Town Clerk Department. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the purchase of one DR 6030C document scanner at a cost of $3,168.25 for the Town Clerk Department. A copy of the quote is annexed and hereto and made part of the minutes, and be it further resolved, the expenditures will be from line item A1680.200. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 159, approval of ratification of out-of-district water customer agreement, Genesee Community College Foundation Housing Services Incorporated. Whereas the Town of Batavia, Town of Stafford, and Kent R. Ewell entered into a water customer agreement October 31st, 2008. And whereas Mr. Ewell, by agreement with the Town of Batavia and the Town of Stafford, became an out-of-district water customer for property located at 8215 Batavia Stafford Town Line Road in the Town of Stafford. And whereas Mr. Ewell sold the property in November 2019 to Genesee Community College Foundation of Housing Services Incorporated, and as part of the agreement, it was not to be assigned to a new owner without the prior written consent of the town. And whereas the GCCFHS wishes to be an out-of-district water customer, now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board of the Town of Batavia, New York, hereby approves and authorizes the supervisor on behalf of the Town of Batavia to execute the ratification of out-of-district water customer agreement by and between the Town of Batavia, Town of Stafford, and the Genesee Community College Foundation Housing Services Incorporated for property located at 8215 Batavia Stafford Town Line Road in the Town of Stafford, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part of the minutes. And be it further resolved, the GCCFHS will be required to pay legal expenses incurred by the Town of Batavia in connection with the negotiation, preparation, and execution of this agreement, not in excess of $300, and pay a deposit in the sum of $500 to the Town of Batavia to be deposited in an account to be used to pay any delinquent water charges that may arise in the future. And be it further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Batavia hereby authorizes Mr. Ewell to be refunded the $500 deposit that the Town of Batavia received in 2008 from Mr. Ewell for delinquent water charges. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Any resolution 160.
Purchase a 48-port network switch, whereas the 48-port network switch needs to be replaced, and whereas Hurricane Technologies Incorporated recommended a 48-port switch, and whereas the town clerk received a quote from www.storeiu.com and Hurricane Technologies Incorporated at a cost of $1,099. Now therefore be it resolved, Batavia Town Board hereby authorize the purchase of the Unified Switch Pro 48 Pro E from Hurricane Technologies Incorporated at a cost of $1,099. A copy of the quote is annexed hereto and made part of the minutes. And be it further resolved, the expenditure will be from line item A1680.200. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 161.
Emergency work at Fairway Drive Pump Station Agreement with emergency contractor STC Construction. Whereas emergency protective measures were needed during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure the continued operation of Fairway Drive wastewater pumping station, which generally included the system with bypassing pumping system installations, replacement pump installations, wet well improvements, valve and fault repairs. Whereas STC Construction Inc. was hired on an emergency as-needed basis in part to ensure the protection of our water and sewer operations. The resolution number 81, whereas STC Construction Inc. was selected to complete the above measures due to their experience and qualifications, and whereas the town engineer and town attorney recommends the town enter into the attached contract for work described therein, therefore be it resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the contract with STC Construction Incorporated, a copy of which is executed hereto and made part of this agreement. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Someone move to suspend the rules.
So moved.
Second.
Sharon, would you move resolution 162?
Oh,
Take roll
wait a
call.
minute, wait, we gotta have roll call here.
Roll call, I'm sorry.
Okay, Zambito,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Sorry, Sharon, go ahead.
Resolution authorizing the deputy supervisor to sign OCR grant-related documents, Upstate Niagara Cooperative Incorporated. Whereas the town of Batavia has received a $750,000 grant of community development block grant funds from the New York State Housing Trust Fund Corporation, acting on behalf of the New York State Office of Community Renewal, the OCR, to support a $4 million investment by Upstate Niagara Cooperative, Inc. to reactivate the yogurt production facility located at 5011 Egg Park Drive West and create 50 new jobs in the town of Batavia. And whereas the town will be taking certain administrative actions relative to implementation of the grant, including but not limited to entering into a sub-grantee agreement with the GENESEE Gateway Local Development Corporation, requisitioning funding draws, and providing periodic reports to the OCR. And whereas it is important to the town board that multiple town officials be authorized to execute all such documents in the event the supervisor is unable to act for any reason. And whereas the town supervisor is currently the only official authorized to execute all such documents related to the OCR grant. Now therefore be it resolved that the board of the town of Batavia hereby provides additional authorization to the deputy supervisor to sign documents associated with the OCR grant that do not expressly require the signature of the town supervisor, including but not limited to entering into a sub-grantee agreement with the GGLDC for implementation of the project and administration of the OCR grant, all such documents to be subject to review and approval by the town attorney. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Dan, same resolution, just to,
Resolution authorizing the deputy supervisor to sign the OCR grant-related documents from HP Hood LLC, basically the same as the other one. So moved as written.
Second.
any discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. That concludes resolutions this evening. Will someone move to pay the abstract?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Under department report this evening, I have probably 8 or 9 pages between the town historian and the building department, and I prefer not to read them, but they are available. I'll make them available to anyone that would like to read them. But both of them have been active throughout this The high points are that our historian has attended a number of meetings working on family files, includes to accept donations, including Avon bottle collections, Valentine's from the 20s through the 60s. She continues to receive books, including a biography of Barbara Conover, John Gardner's Gretel, Heritage magazines, and an 1893 copy of Reed's Word Lessons. She's done research for the town highway superintendent on the Ellicott Trail and attended the opening of the trail. She's received several paintings and has worked with attorneys in Buffalo that needed obituaries for certain persons, and continues to attend the Holland Land Office as well as the International Peace Garden. She did attend the return of the two cannons at the Holland Land Office. She's prepared and has been participatory in working on a history of the Peace Garden book, which is now printed and available. The Peace Garden continues to sell hot dogs and raised $1,800 for the Peace Garden, and the Peace Garden will be celebrating the 10th anniversary this upcoming year in 2021. And wanted to mention that Del Rey's has donated bulbs for the garden, and the day of carrying was canceled. So that is a sense of some of what Bernita has done for us. I do have a several-page report to the town board for the year to date. Presently, the 4 towns that the zoning officer, building inspector, and code enforcement officers have done, highlighted in the town of Batavia, they have issued 136 building permits this year so far. Residential additions, pole barns, demolitions, pools, decks, sheds, minor subdivisions. Commercial building permits there's 16 open, or 16 total, with 11 still open. 4 solar permits, signs and miscellaneous permits, up to 8. It gives a detail here that essentially describes how many hours it takes for each of these types of inspections, and how many hours it takes to do plan review for different components. But for example, commercial building inspections range from 12 to hundreds. Sometimes, as an example, a hotel may require from 6 to 10 inspections per day, and I think there were over 1,000 inspections on site during the duration of the HP Hood build-out. That, I mean, it goes on. There's a pretty comprehensive report, a year-to-date report, if the press is interested in looking through that. Water sewer operations are in the process of breaking down a bypass pump that was set up on Powers Road to augment the water supply from the western part of the county to the central part and the eastern part of Genesee County supply during potential reduced water opportunities. And continue to do testing and hydrant maintenance and valve maintenance, as well as continue to work on and upgrade sanitary sewer pumping stations and facilities, and make water repairs on mains and services that are broken. So they've been busy. Highway Department has continued to prepare for winter, as well as do a lot of restoration work, and is assisting in water sewer operations when asked, getting equipment for the stuff, and the engineering and clerks have been working. I think there's over 50 projects right now that have involved, on average, somewhere between 500 and 2,000 emails per month for most of the people engaged in those operations, from administrative to the engineering staff. So that and the other hard copy correspondence, as well as doing the plan review and managing our pandemic response with starting the outlines of the plans that we are compelled to provide New York State by April 1st. Kept everyone pretty busy. And, you've also been instrumental in assisting us in reducing all unnecessary expenditures and providing us a modified plan for strategic funding our sustainable future in our community. So that concludes my report on the departments. My report as a supervisor is that the status of report on expenditures and revenues is available for the board to review. I did renew the state of emergency declaration on October 14th because the state of emergency still continues in Genesee County, New York State, and the United States of America. And so to be consistent and to be available to work at the speed that those entities are working at, we have to be able to move at that same speed. There will be a special town board meeting on November the 5th, 2020 to adopt the 2021 budget, the water rates, the sewer rates, and any other necessary business.
Public hearings on the 4th.
Yeah, 4th is public hearing.
And that concludes my report. Teresa?
September Town Clerk Monthly Report, we collected $10,967.30, remitted $4,259.78 to the supervisor for the local share. Training workshops, Erie County Planning is going to be having a workshop, sponsoring a workshop on smart floodplains, the best practices to reduce flood risk and restore waterways. On November 12th, town officials have been notified of this training. And working right along with the records management, finalizing the report for the local government records management grant, and continuing to get the records in the system electronically for easy access.
Thank you. Are there any committee reports this evening? Is there any old business this evening?
No, there is not.
Is there any new business this evening?
No, sir.
Prior to asking for a motion to adjourn, I want to thank you all again for the time that you spent in the last 12 weeks mitigating this financial exorcism right in the state of New York. And I appreciate your attendance, your willingness to continue to work on that. Through the past several weeks, including through last evening, late, and again this evening, to finalize a sustainable and strategic financial plan moving forward. So again, I thank all of you for your efforts in assisting in this.
And we thank you for all your hard work.
Absolutely. You've been living here.
Yes.
With that, I'd accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, who seconded it?
Me, Jen.
Okay. Underhill?
Yes.
Zambito?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Michaelak?
Yes.
Post.
Yes, and thank you again. Thank you, and have a safe trip home this evening.